We're fine. We're already done.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
This is how you turn that at. It's First Stop News time.
A new plastic could solve water pollution.
The post office is 250 years old.
And a turtle has some much needed help from Lego, but first, here's what's going on. Just in time for school to start, President Trump's administration says it will return a lot of money it had been withholding from classrooms. How much? Over $5 billion. The Trump team was keeping the already approved money for a review, and public school leaders had been getting concerned. The Education Department was looking into how the money was being spent and if it met the Trump team's standards for diversity. The funding is being used for many different things, but among them, English language learning programs and teacher trainings. Trump is releasing the money after a multi-state lawsuit said withholding the money violated federal laws. And as schools breathe a sigh of relief, Trump worked on another deal. This one, all about the European Union and tariffs. The EU's 27 member countries will be charged a 15% tariff on most goods. This was lower than the 30% tariff Trump had recently posed. The EU is the US's largest trading partner, and we import things like medicine and cars from there. For more on tariffs, check out the card. And Israel has said it's paused fighting for 10 hours a day in parts of Gaza to let aid agencies deliver food. The World Food Program, which is part of the United Nations, says nearly 1 in 3 people in Gaza go multiple days without eating. And some have died from not having enough food, according to the Gaza Health Ministry. Multiple countries, including Israel, parachuted food and basic necessities into the country, while various humanitarian organizations drove in truckloads. Trump said on Monday that the U.S. will set up food centers.
Fabulous job, Will. I love it. Science has created a plastic that dissolves in seawater. It took hours, leaving no trace, no microplastics, and no harm to wildlife. Having a plastic that can dissolve like this could save water animals and help with water pollution. This material is as strong as regular plastic, non-flammable, non-toxic, and does not give off carbon dioxide. It breaks down when exposed to salt into components that bacteria can safely eat. This is a big deal because experts say plastic pollution is set to triple by 2040. According to the UN, the equivalent of 2,000 garbage trucks full of plastic are dumped into the world's oceans, rivers, and lakes every day. That waste can choke marine life or enter their stomachs, so sometimes we end up eating the microplastics. The plastic can also dissolve on land because soil has salt, but the process takes about 10 days. That's still faster and cleaner than anything we use today. These researchers in Japan were from the Riken Center and the University of Tokyo. They say they're now figuring out the best way to coat this material so it functions like everyday plastic. The material isn't commercial yet, but interest from the packaging industry is already building.
That's Root. He's a 20-ish-year-old wood turtle who lives at the Natural History Museum in Nova Scotia, Canada. And he spends most of his time in his enclosure, but a few times a week he walks the museum grounds. And here's the thing, Root is missing a foot. No one knows why, but the team at the museum came up with an idea.
Because he's missing a foot, he kind of clunks that side of the shell down. We didn't want his shell to be damaged. Originally, we stuck a Lego wheel to his shell with medical tape, and it seemed to help. Then we're like, well, it's not practical to have to tape this Lego wheel on every time we take him for a walk. Like, what are we going to do? So then one of the staff here came up with well, what about a dog harness? And then he just kind of clips this harness on, and he's able to walk around.
Wood turtles can live more than 60 years, and they forage for food on land and in the water. They're a threatened species in Nova Scotia, and the museum told us they feel really lucky to have Root as one of their live animal displays.
The U.S. Post Office is celebrating 250 years of mail delivery through rain, sleet, snow, sun, and whatever other natural disasters may come its way. As America expanded, letters have traveled by boat, train, horse, sled dog, plane, and mail person over 2 centuries to keep people connected. Founding father Benjamin Franklin was the first postmaster general in 1775, basically the guy in charge of the office. According to historians, he created a system where military letters got to soldiers, giving them an advantage in the war against the British. Abraham Lincoln got the job in 1833. The first stamps came out in 1847, and airmail didn't start until 1918. Zip codes, those began in 1963, and the first forever stamp was issued in 2007. As a way to celebrate this milestone, USPS is letting us, the people, vote for the stamp we want back in circulation. I'm either voting for the Emancipation Proclamation or the Cars movie theme stamp. Today, the post office is an independent office under the executive branch and has faced its fair share of ups and downs over the years.
And the cost of running the post office is enormous. It's run at a deficit or a loss for more than a decade, and its efficiency has slipped in the past few years. Last year, the agency says it handled 112 million pieces of mail across about 160 million addresses, most of it junk. President Trump has proposed a merger with the Department of Commerce, but the agency's role is written into the Constitution, and President Trump does not really have the authority to make it private or decide who has control. The current Postmaster General believes the agency needs improvements, but should stay where it is.
I believe in the current structure of the Postal Service as a self-financing, independent entity of the executive branch.
And let's be honest, over the past 2 decades, snail mail has been replaced by emails, DMs, and Amazon. But according to the Postmaster General, USPS is a vital part of America and is designed to serve everyone equally. And I don't know about you, but I do love getting a handwritten card in the mail.
I do. And I honestly, in my next life, I would love to work for the post office.
Really?
Yeah, I love their outfits. I love their bags. And I love getting...
I love that. I love that.
And I love getting 10K stuff today. And I feel like they probably get like 15 to 20K.
I mean, I could see that, but like my postal carrier looks really tired when she stops for a break on my stoop, so... I don't know. I think I'd probably fall over after all that walking. But in keeping with that, I think you're gonna love this last little laugh.
I do love to giggle. You know what I would also love?
What?
If people subscribe, like, share this video with somebody.
And if you made it this far, why don't you comment speedy delivery?
And we will see you next week. So goodbye.
Bye.
See you later.
Toodles.